This is going to be the first video on this channel, and it's going to be one take. It's just going to be unfiltered, no edits, just me talking for what some of you may think is too long. But I ask you to bear with me, watch the whole thing. I think it's interesting enough and funny enough in some parts that hopefully you enjoy it. I really try to tell stories, meaning I ramble sometimes, I talk a lot, but there's reasoning behind, in my mind, why I'm saying the things I'm saying. So I felt like the best place to start a new channel devoted to the car or cars is to start with the backstory on the CTS-V. Why I chose it, how it came to be, the process of getting it to this garage, and future plans. So I think the best thing, to be brutally honest, is to say that I am not the standard car guy. Meaning, I have not been somebody that has been obsessed with cars my whole life. I like cars. I mean, I've always watched like Top Gear, Grand Tour, all the car shows. But for the majority of my life, I was a truck guy, an SUV guy. I had a lifted truck that was really nice. Well, I thought it was really nice. A lot of other people probably would agree, but eventually I wanted to go in a different direction. So I traded in the truck that I had for a 2015 C7 Z51 Corvette. And that was my true intro into being a car guy, I guess. That was 2 years ago. So this is new, if you will, for a 38-year-old guy. That's not a lot of his life. I mean, ever since high school, every car I bought has been an SUV or a truck. So to go from lifted Ram and a daily driver of a Jeep Grand Cherokee or Yukon to Corvette was a transition, to say the least. But I wanted to do something different. I wanted to get into the car world in the sense of being able to do rallies, being able to go to car shows, just all that stuff. And I did a rally with the Corvette, met a great group of people. Some stuff happened, we won't go into that, but it left a bad taste in my mouth. We'll put it that way. There was just some stuff that happened that on a personal level, I didn't agree with. And I'm not gonna bash those guys. I honestly hope that they continue and grow and have success. I don't have ill will towards them. But that experience left me questioning why I got into the car world. It made me not have as much of a desire to own a car. So I sold the vet, and I bought a hot tub. I did a bunch of improvements to the house, just a bunch of stuff. I mean, 40 grand worth of cash in my pocket, so I did a bunch of stuff. But as time went on, I started to miss having a car. The experience of being able to floor something and just take off, I like it a lot. I am more of a straight line speed guy than a backroads twisty guy. I hope to eventually get there. I hope to eventually maybe graduate or add a Porsche, because I mean, they're animals. They just eat up everything you throw at them. But I started to look at cars again because I missed having that visceral pedal down and just go experience. So I was looking into Audis, actually. I was looking at an Audi RS7. I thought they looked good. They're sedans, they're fast as hell, and they're good cars. So while I was doing the research on those, my buddy Extalgic started to put out his series on Crown Rally West. He did that with his buddy Tim in a Chrysler 300 something. SRT 8 straight, whatever, however you want to pronounce that. And it looked like so much freaking fun that suddenly that process of buying a car and doing the research and making the right decisions kind of went out the window. And I did not want to buy an RS7 because I read that the rotors apparently need to be replaced quite often. I was reading on forums that RS7 rotors were lasting anywhere between 10 to 20,000 miles, and that, not very long. The other thing is just their labor and their parts are more expensive. And I have always made the joke to anybody that has talked to me about cars that I will never own a car where the oil and filter change costs more than $100. I have said, even if I'm a billionaire, a multi-billionaire, I will never own a car where the oil and filter change costs more than $100. So, Porsche, Jag, any exotic, basically, any import minus, Camry, Hondas, that kind of stuff. But sports cars, luxury cars, pretty much, yeah. But I found this pristine RS spot, and I mean pristine. It was an older gentleman who was selling part of his collection. He said he realized that, hey, I don't need 10 cars at 70 years old anymore, and I'm giving a good price because I would like somebody to buy this and enjoy it and treat it well and take care of it. So I sent him an email and I said, hey, I'm in Indiana, you're in Minnesota, how can we figure this out? I'm willing to jump on a flight, tomorrow to come look at the car. And he got back to me and he said, unfortunately, somebody has put down a deposit already, they're coming tomorrow. It's probably a guaranteed thing that this transaction is going to happen, and the car essentially is not available anymore. So that kind of sucked. But I randomly put in CTS-Vs. I have wanted a CTS-V, a third gen to be specific, since they came out. I have nothing against the first gen or the second gen CTS-V. They're just boxy to me. That's a personal thing. I understand the platform. I understand that those guys that have second gens are going to go, but there's so much more you can do with the second gen that you can't do to a third gen. I get it. But let's revisit the statement I made at the beginning of this of I'm not really a true car guy. I am, but I'm not. So what I mean by that is I'm not trying to build the engine. I'm not trying to make crazy modifications to gain thousands of horsepower or hundreds of horsepower. That's not me. But I like the third gen. I just think it looks good. I mean, it looks pretty freaking good. And the technology's there. The Q system still freaking sucks, but the modern updates. And I've been looking since they came out. I would never buy one new. I have a policy against buying new cars. I just don't believe in it. These were, what, 85 to 100? Not spending that money. But used, they have kept their value pretty well, in the sense that the majority of them are 16, 17s with, some have 12,000 miles, some have 67,000 miles. But the price has stayed around $63,000 to $67,000, which was not in the budget. The budget could have been expanded to fit that, but I just did not want to do that. I like having savings. I like having money for other things. You know, in all honesty, if I really wanted to, I could have went out and bought a McLaren, but I just don't see, it would be awesome, but I would just prefer to have money. So I randomly put in CTS-V though, and this one popped up. 38,000 miles, price below 60. I'm not going to say by how much, but below 60. And the only bad thing is that it was in Kenosha, Wisconsin. I live in Indiana, specifically the Indianapolis area, and Kenosha, Wisconsin is 4 hours from me. I can't just hop in the car and go look at it. So I called the dealership, and I did not think the car would still be there, to be honest with you. For the price and the mileage, I was like, there's no way this thing's still available. But it was. And I said, well, can you do me a big favor and do a walk around of the car while I have you on the phone? We can FaceTime or Zoom, whatever we need to do. I just need to visually kind of see the car. And the lady said, sure. Of course, it was parked in like an indoor service area that had the crappiest lighting ever. So I couldn't really see much. Black car, not well lit, didn't help. But I did know the paint would be trashed. The budget included a 2-stage paint correction and a ceramic coat. So I knew that the paint would be bad. But I asked the lady, I said, well, what can I do for you to hold the car? I can't get there until Friday or Saturday. If I give you $1,000 deposit, will you hold the car for me? And she said, we don't do that. We just can't hold cars. Which is the first dealership I've ever heard wouldn't take a deposit. So I started trying to figure things out. And the best solution, the only solution, was for me to wire cash for the car. So I wired the full amount. Now I'm the owner of a CTS-V that's 4 hours away, that I have not seen in person, that I'm not going to pick up for 2 or 3 days. So cut to a Saturday, and my buddy Chris, who I met on that rally that I mentioned before, was nice enough to drive me up to the dealership. So I got there, and car looked okay, paint was trashed. And by trashed, I mean trashed. But we knew we were going to do the paint correction. There's a couple things on the car that weren't so great. There was some damage to the front bumper, front splitter, and there was a weird, like ridges, like saw marks almost on the splitter, or on the spoiler, sorry. And spoiler's been fixed. But called the guy, come do the paint correction. Normally I would do a paint correction, but GM paint is extremely soft. And when you're polishing, compounding really, you're gonna leave micro markings. So then you've got to polish, and you've got to polish delicately, and get that micro marking out. I just did not feel comfortable doing that on this car, especially without knowing how much clear was on the car. And I looked at it under my lights, and He needed a 3-stage. I told him it would need a 3-stage, and he said, I very rarely have to do that. So I don't think you'll need a 3-stage. But he came and, you know, we talked while he was washing, and when he got to the point where he was going to start compounding, I said, all right, I'll leave you alone because it's loud when you're polishing. He's got music on anyways. I said, I'm going to go mow some yards. If you need anything, you know, flag me down or come find me. So I'm 3 minutes into mowing, and I see him waving at me from the driveway. So I come back over on the mower, and he goes, yeah, we got to do a 3-stage. And I kind of knew that was going to happen. But he did the 3-stage. It looked good. 99% of the population, 95, whatever, percent of the population would decide, oh, the car looks good. But for me, being an OCD, detail, paint freak, it was not up to my standards. So the goal was just getting it better looking for Crown Rally South, because I had signed up to do that the same day that I wired the money for the car. Had this thing not ran or had issues, we would have been in trouble, but everything worked out. So he did the ceramic coat, the car looks good. My buddy Extalgic, who is the major push, his videos pushed me to do this quickly. And I did Crown Rally South. It was a blast. I'll quickly jump to just say this quickly. If you are a car person, if you enjoy driving, if you enjoy hilarious, nice, cool people, and good food, and good roads, and good hotels, and all that, do a Crown Rally. Trust me, it is worth the money, and I mean, I'm doing it again, so obviously that's a good sign. But car is in good shape. However, the little car guy in me always wants to improve things. So, upcoming videos will be the wheels getting powder coated. Just don't dig that look. I would prefer to have black. There will be a quick video, probably just a before and after video of the bumper, show the damage and the after paint. I just shivered because it is freezing in here right now. There will probably be a video over the wrap. It's getting wrapped. And there will probably be a video over the exhaust. It is getting a catback exhaust from Corsa. So the car is going to start to change. And I'm hoping I can do this in a way that's interesting. It won't be as much talking, me rambling like this, but I go to guys' channels that have cars. You don't find out why they bought the car, the story behind, like most of them don't post this. So I don't feel that connection. Maybe it's because a lot of people don't want to watch somebody just talk into the camera for this long without action. But I think it's important to have that backstory. I mean, it leads to, holy crap, this guy went and bought a car 4 hours away, sight unseen. He's not happy with the paint, and now he's making all these changes. But so I'm hoping those videos will be cool. I hope you stuck through this. Maybe some of you bailed at me on 3 minutes in and don't know I'm talking trash about you right now. I'm not. I don't care. I honestly am just doing this more for me and for the few that will watch this and might enjoy it. I don't do anything in my life for likes, comments, notoriety. Like, I don't care, man. I just like to have fun. And part of this is actually me getting to get my camera out and just enjoy making a video. And the other videos will be more fun because there will be multiple cameras, and I enjoy editing. I enjoy putting the stuff together. I enjoy that process. So it's not me doing it to be popular. It's more, it's something to do. And some of you may like it. So it's a twofer. And it's also a memory for me. It's a memory of the experience of making this change. So I hope you guys stick with it. I hope you listen to this, and I hope the next videos are enjoyable. They will, again, will not be me talking as long, and won't be one take rambles, but we're gonna experience this together, and we're gonna see this thing go from okay grandpa car, sleeper grandpa car, to hopefully pretty cool car. But yeah, hopefully you guys stick around, and we'll see you on the next one.